Rick. What's up guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about our visa process and what we've been going through over the last few months, as well as a little bit about the visa that we are going to Australia on. Yay! Okay, so Rick and I had known for a long time that we did not want to stay in South Africa. That I've skipped between a whole bunch of countries. Between at one stage it was America, and then it was the UK, and then it was New Zealand, and then finally we landed on Australia. It just seemed like it was going to be the place that best suited the lifestyle that we wanted to live, and it would also have the best opportunities for our kids one day. The big problem that we had at that particular stage, when we had decided, you know, this is something that we wanted to do, was that we weren't married yet. And not that that's a problem, you can definitely go overseas with your boyfriend or girlfriend. We just, if we're in the middle of planning a wedding, and at that stage, with planning our wedding, it just was not the right time for us to be looking into immigration as well. It was just too much and too stressful, so we didn't even start looking at the process until we had gotten married. So we got married, yay! All very exciting, and now it was time to sort of get cracking, because this was something that we wanted to do. But we had one really big problem. We had no idea where to start, not one little inkling clue of where to start with this process. We were completely clueless. So Rick had a really good brainwave, and he found a seminar that was sponsored by a migration agent, and they were called Imagine Australia. And so we got up one night and we went off to the seminar, and it told us all the wonderful things we already knew about Australia as well as New Zealand. And basically at the end of the seminar you were allowed to go, or they asked you to come forward to get a consultation with them to find out how you could actually get into the country. We didn't actually end up going with them because one of Rick's friends who's already in Australia referred us to another migration agent. And you know, you go with the things that, you know, your friends recommend to you, because like you think that they're going to be good and great and all of that. So what happened a week or two later is we ended up having a Skype interview with a lady in Brisbane. So she showed us the whole process and explained to us what we needed to do, and if we wanted to move forward with the process, that we needed to pay her a sum of money so that she could help us with all of the paperwork. So we settled the conversation, we went to bed, and the next morning Rick and I decided, yep, this is something we wanted to do, and we were gonna now pay this migration agent and get going with the process. So Rick emailed her, and nothing. Like, she did not respond. So we emailed her again, and she did not respond again. And we Skyped her, and she just was not responding to our messages. So we were like, all of a sudden, very lost again. And with all of this, I was looking through the Australian migration website, and I kind of looked at everything, and I thought to myself, like, this really isn't that hard. You know, this is a first world country, and they explain things really well, and their website is just really, really informative. And I kind of got to thinking that, you know what, maybe we don't need to pay somebody in the region of 100,000 Rand to fill out paperwork for us. It kind of just didn't make any sense anymore. And we kind of sat down and we decided that this is something that we could do by ourselves, that we didn't need sort of an agent, and we could save a whole lot of money doing it by ourselves. So it takes a whole lot more work to do it yourself, but you know what? We saved a lot of money doing it that way. So what's next? Rick and I are going to Australia on what is called a 189 permanent residency visa. And the great thing about this visa is that we get to go and live in Australia on a permanent basis. We can stay there for the rest of our lives if we want to, so that's great. We also qualify for the national health system there called Medicare, both of us can go work there, can literally go and make a new life there. The only thing I think we can't do is work for government and obviously vote. But we will be eligible for citizenship if it is a route that we want to go through in, I think, 5 years after staying there. But that's a bridge that we'll get to. Do you need if you want to go on this visa? There's a whole bunch of visas that you can go to. This is just the visa that we're going on, so obviously just do your research. I'll show you guys sort of how you can find the right visa for you on the website now. Alright, so we're just going to go to the Home Affairs website for Australia. It's homeaffairs.gov.au, and it brings up quite a pretty looking website. It's quite a neat little interface that they've got going here. A whole bunch of things going on, but if you scroll to the bottom, there's a link that says find a visa, and we're just going to click on that, and we scroll down just a teeny bit so we can see. And it says there, what type of visa are you looking for? There's a whole bunch for you to choose from. Just pick the one that's most relevant to you. Holiday, student, work. Obviously, the one most applicable to us would be the permanent residency visa right here. Right there, okay. And what it does is it just asks you a quick question that says, what type of visa are you looking for? And you can look through all the different little options over here. There's quite a few. And if our one there is the skilled work not sponsored or nominated. So what it means if you're sponsored or nominated is that the government or an employer will be helping you get into Australia. But that's not us. We're just doing it ourselves here. Nobody's helping us or paying for us. So look, it brought 4 visas for us, and if we scroll down, it's Skilled Independent 189 New Zealand. We're not from New Zealand, so we'll just be moving on swiftly. And there's the Skilled Independent Visa Subclass 189 Points Tested Stream. Yay! Okay, we're just going to click there. And then this is the actual homepage for the 189 visa. So it's going to show you everything from what you can do on this visa, if you're eligible for the visa, how long you can stay, what the steps that you need to go through, processing times. It's really a very, very informative page, and there's little links to every tiny little piece of information. And this is what I'm talking about when I say you don't need to do it with an agent, because everything is literally on this page. It just takes quite a bit of reading to get through, and clicking on each one of those blue little links. But it's pretty easy, all of the costs are there, so it's everything that you need to know. 189 visa, what you need, okay, to be eligible, you must have a relevant occupation. So Australia, their economy is booming, really booming, and you need people, and they need people with skills to facilitate this expanding economy. So they have what is called a skill shortage list. So on that list is things like accountants, nurses, engineers. I can't think of any other people right now. But now, something you need to realize about the skill shortage list is that it's exactly that. It's a skills shortage list. So the Australian government isn't looking for, everybody that's got the same skill. So for me, for instance, I have a degree in finance and law. They just don't want me because at the end of the day, they've got 1,000,001 finance graduates in their country. However, one of the people on those list is a metal machinist, and lucky for us, Rick is a metal machinist. With his hands, he's really manly, he does some dirty work, and they want people like that there. Because you have these people, you can't grow a good country, you don't have a good foundation. And so this is what Australia is looking to do. This is why they are looking for nurses and machinists and carpenters and plumbers, electricians, so that they can build up their country, which makes a lot of sense. Why would you want 1,000,001 financial people in your country? And so we can, that kind of checks that box, so yay. And that's a really big box to check, because if you don't have that one, then you can't get in on this visa. If you aren't in the right line of work and you don't have the experience in that work, then you ain't gonna get in. Okay. next, you need 60 points. We'll go into the points test later at a later stage. You must be under 45 years of age. You must have competent English, and you must be invited to apply for the visa. Okay, so let's start. Obviously, one of the first things that you need to do is you need to make sure that you've got a passport and probably a birth certificate as well, and make sure that you've got a marriage certificate. It's good to get those things out of the way, and sometimes these departments can take a little bit long, so it would be a good start to make sure that you've got those things, and that then you're going to get your skills assessed. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to get the Australian authority for your job to decide whether you can or cannot do that job. So basically you're getting your qualification converted into the Australian equivalent of that qualification. I'll show you how to do that as well in a future video. Next, what you're going to do is you are going to do an English test. So basically here what you want to do is you want to prove that you can speak the Queen's English. So I say that you should do your skills assessment first because it's kind of a long process, so it's good to get that out of the way firsthand. Okay, so now that you've got your passport, you've got your English test, and you've got your skills assessment, what you're going to do is you are going to go onto the Department of Home Affairs website, and you're going to submit what is called an expression of interest. So basically what you are doing here is you are telling the Australian government, hey, look at me, I'm Tam and I've got 80 points and I'm great, so pick me to come live in your country. And what happens after that is twice a month, I think it is, the Australian government it sifts through all of these expressions of interest, and it says, okay, let's take the top of the crop off the top and invite these people to apply for a visa. So when you get your invitation, it's actually a really exciting moment, because it means that you have sort of completed 90% of the process of getting your visa. It means that the Australian government wants you, and it's a really exciting day. Cool. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to apply for your actual visa. Now this is the part where you actually pay the money, upload a lot of documents, and tell the Australian government all about yourself and all your wonderful secrets. You need to go for a police clearance certificate, you need to go for a medical, and then basically you just wait. And that's where we are in the process right now. We have done everything that we need to do. We are basically just on the last little bit of the wait for the Australian government to tell us that we are lovely and they want us to live in their country. So I hope that you've really enjoyed this short little introduction video into the visa process, and in future videos I'll hopefully be going into a little bit more depth on each one of these steps. But what I'm really looking forward to doing with you guys is kind of just vlogging through the process and getting to know you guys a little bit more as well. So thank you for watching, and bye.